Priesthood Dispatches.
He's the man. It's awesome, funny, random, doesn't make any sense, but it's good.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's going to be a shorter video this time, and this video is all about a call I made to the LDS Church Abuse Helpline. It's an older call and wasn't made recently, and if you don't know what the Abuse Helpline is, then section 38.6.2.1 in the church policies and guidelines section of the handbook tells us exactly what it is, and it's a helpline set up around the world to help leaders deal with abuse. Leaders can call that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and here are some of the numbers listed below. The one I called was the United Kingdom. It says bishops and stake presidents. So I was ordained a bishop in 2007. Once a bishop, always a bishop. A couple of other things to know. First of all, the abuse case that I speak about is my own. So you'll see that I am uncomfortable making the call. You'll see it's uncomfortable to talk about it, but yeah, please bear with my weird, boring, scared looking face. The handbook says that bishops and stake presidents can call the helpline when addressing situations involving any type of abuse. Legal and clinical professionals will answer their questions. These professionals will also give instructions about how to assist victims and help protect them from further harm, from further abuse, to help protect potential victims and to comply with legal requirements for reporting abuse. And then it goes on to say they're different everywhere. So call the helpline and we will tell you what to do. So as you listen to it, you'll notice that the other person has a really deep voice. That's because I've anonymized their voice. The quality is not the best. Apologies for that. I've also beeped out sections to guard the identity of the other party. So with that said, roll the tape. I was wondering if I could talk to someone about an abuse case, please.
Yes, I am a solicitor engaged by the church to give advice to church leaders in relation to abuse.
Okay.
Are you a church leader?
I'm a bishop, yeah.
Yes, okay, Bishop. Where are you located?
England.
And your ward name?
I'm nervous, to be honest.
Okay.
Because the parties involved are extremely litigious, and yeah, I'm a bit scared, if I'm honest, about this. It's not something I've dealt with before, and I didn't even know about this phone number until today. So I don't know what to do. What the legal kind of, can I be held responsible, or I don't know.
Okay, well let's begin at let's just begin by hopefully giving you some information then. So I'm a solicitor. I'm engaged by the church and have been for the last 20 years.
Okay.
In providing advice and assistance to church leaders in the UK, in Ireland, and in France, in relation to abuse when it's either known or suspected. And I've served as a bishop, I've served as a stake president, I've served as a mission president and an Area 70. So I've also served in the church as well as, provided this advice to other bishops.
Okay.
And that's been going on for 20 years or so. So I do go to Salt Lake for training periodically, and I work with the US attorneys. They've been running their helpline for about 23 years. We've been running this one for 20 years.
Okay.
So there are very few circumstances or situations that I haven't met before. Is that a good start or not?
It's a good start. I'll be honest with you, my first thought was just to call the police.
Well, yeah, if it's that serious, they should call the police.
Well, I don't know. Okay, let me tell you. So the reason I didn't call the police is because I don't know. So the people involved, the victim is an 11-year-old boy, but the perpetrator, I guess, is a 12-year-old boy.
Yes.
So I don't know what the like. If it was like an older brother, I'd have just called the police. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I don't.
It's not a sibling. It's not in the same family.
No. It's just another young man at like a sleepover.
Yep, understood. And has the parent of either of these boys become involved?
No, the parents don't know it was the young man that told me.
Okay. And so, first thing to do, Bishop, would be to speak to the young man and say that you would like to involve the parent.
Okay.
So that the parent becomes engaged. And then it would be the parent that would go to the police service and make the report.
Okay, yeah, that'd work better.
Wouldn't it? So you go back to the young man and you say, "Thank you for making me aware. Let's involve your parents now. I'm coming to the house and let's have a conversation with mum or dad or both." And then say to mum and dad, the next step would be to make a report. And you can take your son down to the police station, or you can call the 101 non-emergency telephone number.
Okay.
And the alternative, Bishop, is for you to say, look, if neither of you feel you could make a report, would you like the church to make the initial report on your behalf, simply to give your names and contact details and a little bit of information, and then the police will come round and visit you?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. I guess, because he said at the minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't investigate. Don't call the 12-year-old or question the 12-year-old or speak to if you put any thought or idea into the head of the 12-year-old, Bishop, you may be inadvertently damaging the prospect of an investigation by the authorities.
Okay. Well, I guess that's
okay.
So my course of action: speak to the 11-year-old first and ask permission to speak to the parents.
That is correct.
And then
speak to the house, speak to the parents.
Speak to the parents. What if he doesn't give permission?
With the boy, yeah. Invite them to decide what they're going to do to protect their child.
Yeah.
And that should include reporting to the authorities.
Okay.
If they say there's no way on earth we're going to make a report to the authorities, you're going to have to call me back, because we then as a church know something that the parents are saying they're not going to report.
Yeah.
And that is not appropriate, that the church as a legal entity is aware of something and that the parents aren't prepared to make a report. So you'll have to let me know if the parents don't report.
But am I not covered? Like, I can't get in trouble. Like, if that's the case, I can't get in trouble for breaking some sort of priesthood confidentiality. Like I don't know how it works, but for me, if someone went to a confession box and told the priest, like you see in the movies, I know it's stupid, but the priest can't say anything.
Yes, you're covered by what's called a solemn duty of confidentiality. You are effectively saying, I will keep confidential the information that is disclosed to me. As a bishop, you make that promise to the members. You will keep solemn and confidential the information they disclose to you. And that's something the brethren ask you to do in the general handbook. That is the duty of confidentiality is in the handbook. And I can send you a link to that, President, so you can have a look at it.
I'm
looking at the handbook now. Yeah, it's section 32.
Yeah.
subsection 4, entitled confidentiality.
3244. Right, I'll give that a read.
If that let me read.
Okay.
And it talks about the duty of confidentiality and how important it is that members will have confidence in you and they will believe that information that they disclose to you is not then shared with others. But then it tells you situations in which you can share the information. And one of those is where you have the permission of the person themselves to share the information.
Okay.
But you can read through that, Bishop.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if the family will not report and they choose not to report, let me know, because there are circumstances in which I can then pass that information up through to the senior brethren, and they can give you further counsel if needed. It'll be coming from me that, they'll say whether or not you're authorized to breach the duty of confidentiality.
Okay.
Okay.
And
But we haven't got there yet. Let's not do
no,
the
let's start.
hypotheticals.
Let's start with the.
Let's do the real practical things that we can do straight away.
And if I call back, will I always get yourself, or do I need to ask for you?
There are two solicitors here. This number that you're calling, this 0800 number, rings directly to me, and it rings day, evening, and weekend. So you can ring at any time, Bishop.
Okay. And
but there are two of us, and he's a solicitor. He's also French speaking, and he does the French helpline for the French church leaders.
Okay. So
he gets French. He gets the calls in French. I get the calls in English.
well, it seems to work, I guess. So what was your? I totally missed it at the beginning because I really. Oh, okay. Yeah. No. I know. Yeah, I know. Without giving too much away, I know you. Sorry.
Good.
Yeah. No. Nice to speak to you.
Yeah, it's good to be talking. So, look, you need to tell me who you are, Bishop, so that I can send you an email and give you a summary of.
I know. Can I call you back? I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course you can.
I'm just really, because I know these people are really they get a hold of everything.
Yes.
And they seem to pull things out of thin air, and I'm worried that they'll pull this call out of thin air and come at me.
Well, the church is there to help you, and I'll help you as best as I can.
Okay.
So you take your time, Bishop. Listen, if at any point you think that this child is at risk of further harm, just get on the telephone to the police on 101 and make the call. Don't hesitate if there's a risk of further harm.
Yeah. Okay, will do.
Don't let the helpline or the policy. Just if there's a child at risk of serious harm, make a call and get the ball rolling. But at this stage, it sounds like the risk has passed, the sleepover has ended, the harm has been done, and you're now encouraging the family to make a report.
Yeah, no, I'm on it. I'm going to see them later.
Okay, very good.
All right,
call me anytime, Bishop.
Yep, thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, take care then.
Bye.
Yep, bye-bye.
So that was it. That was the call to the abuse helpline. And I think that it was a good call. I think that the brother that answered was knowledgeable. He gave me good information. He was really concerned about safeguarding the child. He said there at the end, if there's any danger or anything, go straight to the police. Don't worry about the policy. Don't worry about calling them back, and protect the child, which I thought was great. A couple of things, that I did pick up on. One was this policy of if we need to break the confidentiality, then that has to go to the senior brethren to decide that. I'm sure we all remember the Arizona case last year where the bishops didn't break that confidentiality and the abuse carried on for many years of these children. Did that decision go to the senior brethren in order to make the decision not to call the police and let the authorities know and stop that abuse? I don't know, just something that stood out to me. Also, the person mentioned section 32.4.4 of the church handbook. Let's take a look. So this section is on confidentiality. It speaks a lot about membership councils and about keeping, says confidentiality is essential because members may not confess sins or seek guidance if what they share will not be kept confidential. Breaching of confidence betrays a member's trust and causes them to lose confidence in their leaders. So that makes sense. You know, you don't want to know that your bishop's a, gossip and tells everyone as soon as he leaves the office. It goes on about people moving into new stakes, new wards, membership councils, members choosing to give permission and share information with specific persons. So, you can ask the member, like they said on the call. Further down, this one stood out to me. Here in this paragraph, it refers back to the section on the abuse helpline 38.6.2.1, where it says that trained professionals are there to give guidance to leaders when they don't know what to do, because a lot of our leaders, as I was, are untrained and have no idea what to do when these things come in other than call the police. But the church, unless there's imminent danger, would prefer that you don't do that first. And it does say here that only one situation should a bishop or stake president disclose confidential information without first seeking such guidance of the helpline. That is when disclosure is necessary to prevent life-threatening harm or serious injury, and there is no time to seek guidance. In such cases, the duty to protect others is more important than the duty of confidentiality. Leaders should contact civil authorities immediately. I don't know how that section in the handbook did not cause those bishops in Arizona to call authorities immediately. Like, why? So here's another interesting one just below. If leaders keep notes or communicate with each other electronically, they safeguard access to this information. They also delete or destroy the information when they no longer need it. They do not unnecessarily share personal information. I think that's just a bit weird. Like, delete or destroy seems weird. I know that, you don't want that information falling into other people's hands, but what if you do need it? Is there not some archiving system that the church could put in place? Because if you delete or destroy the notes or the emails, then where is the paper trail for either church discipline in the future, which we know they love, or to help future bishops understand the pattern and increase in kind of sin or offending of an abuser? Or to help the police, And then here, civil authorities might challenge the confidentiality required of a priesthood leader. If this occurs in the United States, call this number, and outside you should talk to your stake president, who will contact the area legal counsel. So it's all very legalistic. And then in 32.4.5, it talks about reporting to government authorities. It refers again at the bottom to this 24-hour, 7-day-a-week helpline. And it tells us basically some people have broken the law. In some cases, authorities aren't aware. Bishops and stake presidents encourage members to follow the law and report such matters when required. But what if they won't report? Who's going to hand themselves in all the time? The church's policy is to obey the law. No shit, Sherlock. In many places, priesthood leaders are required by law to report some illegal behaviors on which they become aware. For example, some states and countries require child abuse to be reported to law enforcement authorities. In some countries, the church has established confidential abuse helplines. And basically, you can call that and they will tell you if you need to report it or not. So I think all in all, the brother on the phone followed the handbook to the T, was very good, was very helpful. But it seems that a department that covers family services, or at least this helpline for the United Kingdom, Ireland, and France, at least, which are 3 decent sized countries, although France and Ireland don't have much of a membership compared to the United Kingdom, 2 people cover all of that. So if you call from any of those countries, you get them same 2 people, and they deal with all of the abuse cases from within those countries. Are 2 people enough? I don't know. I don't know what the workload's like. But 21st Century Saints, and in conjunction with them here at Priesthood Dispatches and Nemo the Mormon and the Bleakleys and the Heaths and others, we've all joined together to try and help the church establish mandatory DBS checks here in the UK, which are background checks. And many people say, well, if they haven't been caught, it doesn't get them. And the Lord speaks about the worth of souls, that just one soul is great in the eyes of the Lord. I want to speak about the worth of children. Just one protected child is great in the sight of their parents and others around. And if DBS checks catch just one person and stop them from offending and save that child from that trauma and that nightmare, then we've done our job. You can go to the 21st Century Saints website. The link is in the description below, and you can see the open letter to bishops, the letter that was just sent to bishops to make them aware of their legal responsibility. And there'll be another broadcast this coming Sunday over on Nemo's channel to let everyone know what the response was to that letter. But thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.